Hello, this is Miss Bryant, your friendly counselor. And I know it's been a while since I've been on or added anything, but I wanted to say welcome back to everybody, and I'm so glad to see you. Again, this is Miss Bryant, your friendly counselor, and I am representing school counselors all around the world. Normally, I have a book with me and I read a story, but today I just wanted to talk about going back to school. I know that some of us are already in school, depending on where you're watching from in the country, and some of us will be starting school within the next couple of weeks. So, I wanted just to talk to families. Many times, my videos are mainly child centered, but today I wanted it to be family centered so everybody can kind of get an idea of what they need to know and what we need to talk about to get ready for school. So, first, I want to say to families, we know last year was a very, very different year for us. And to be honest, we don't know exactly what this year will look like. But regardless of what the year looks like, it's important, it is very important that parents and families form a partnership with your child's school or your children's school. That's so important. That is a significant factor to success academically and behaviorally in school when there are partnerships between the instructors and the families. So that's something that's really important. Well, Miss Bryant, what do you mean by a partnership? Well, just like in any relationship, with partnerships, you communicate. So make sure that your child's instructor has an accurate phone number and an accurate email. Make sure they have that and an accurate and current emergency contact number. The school should have all of that information. And if not, then that means that's something that you can fix. You usually can go into the office and let them know that you need to update your information. But always, always make sure that the school has your most current information. For your child, make sure your children know your first and last name, especially some of our little ones. Because when you say, "What's mommy's name or daddy's name?" they just say your first name. So make sure they know your first and last name. And some of our older ones, make sure that they know your phone number, your current phone number. Not it's in their phone. Make sure they have it in their own mental computer, that brain, that's what we call that. So make sure that they know that, they have that memorized. Also, we know that there are many different types of families. So some families have shared custody or they have other arrangements where many other people help them. Make sure your child knows who is supposed to pick them up from school. If it's going to be mommy, daddy, auntie, grandma, mom, foster dad, big brother, big sister, they should know that. Make sure they know if they're supposed to walk home or if they're supposed to ride in a van that picks them up, those kinds of things. Those are important for helping them be ready for school and the partnership. The other thing I will say to families right now in today's world, in most school systems, no matter where you live, they have an electronic way for you to check on your child's attendance, your child's grades before report cards come out. So make sure you have that information. If you say, "Well, I don't know how to do that," there's someone at the school that's assigned to do that, to help you with that step by step. You need to call the school and try to make an appointment for that. Because again, remember, as we learned last year, technology is going to be more and more important in every facet of every education. And so that includes the partnership with the schools. So make sure that we're doing that. Another thing to have a partnership with a school is, suppose I have a concern. Well, first start with the immediate teacher. Then you can move up from there, but always start with a conversation. Notice I said a conversation with your child's teacher. If it's not a conversation, you can start with the email and just say, it's important. I need to speak with you about my child. Do not put any elaborate and a whole lot of personal information in there. Just say that you're the parent and you need to speak, about your child. And the teacher should get in touch with you. The other thing, too, is for partnerships. If your child has a sibling at the school or someone that they usually walk home with, make sure they know who that is. Make sure they know. Oh, I walk home with my brother. I walk home with my cousin. I walk home with my neighbor. It's a group of us and we walk home together. Make sure that they know that. So that's part of the partnership. The other part of the partnership is many teachers are using electronic communication, maybe Class Dojo or some type of remind other applications. Make sure that you give them the information so they can communicate with you more directly. So if they do that, when they send something home, make sure you follow through so that way they can text you, they can send you pictures of your child's work, or if you have concerns, things like that. That's part of the partnership. Also, consider getting involved in your child's PTA, even if you can't be there at all the meetings. Ask, is there some other way that you can support? It doesn't have to be financially, it can be with time. That's what's really important. Financially would be great in terms of maybe fundraisers, things like that. Some schools are not allowing you in the building physically, but maybe through electronically you can do some things, and that's important. PTA is also a way of your voice being heard and then you understanding better how things go on within the school. Schools are not like how when you were in school, or let alone when I was in school. The reality is often, not all the time, but often there are significant changes approximately every 5 years. So make sure you understand what's going on in your school, your child's school. Last but not least, partnership. Children. Now let's shift over to children. Having conversations about expectations. Many of us say, go to school and be good today. And kids say, okay. And then you get that unexpected report. We have to make sure we understand that children don't always know what good is. Good can mean so many things. So be specific. Go to school. I need you to listen to your teacher. I need you to make sure you're doing your work. I need you following directions. These are the things that I need. Make sure you're specific and ask them how their day went. And make sure you have those conversations. How did your day go? Show me what's in your book bag that your teacher sent home. Look at it. Many people say, well, I don't understand all of this new stuff they're teaching, or, my English isn't that good. That's not the important issue. The important issue is your child knows, I have to have this in the book bag and I have to show this to my parent or my guardian because they're expecting that. Expectations can help so much in the partnership with your school. Also, find out if your school is a uniform school. If you're having some challenges with uniforms, you have to let the school know. Believe it or not, there might be some way that schools can help you with that. But they can't give you enough for the whole year, but maybe just to help you temporarily or services. The other thing is school counselors often have resources too. And if it's that personal and you say, I'm having issues with this, but I'm afraid about everybody knowing. The school counselor is not going to tell everybody. That's not how that's supposed to be. And the school isn't going to tell everybody. School is a place where we learn, and we try to learn through academics and through supporting children and families as best that we can so they can focus on their academic performance. And so that's what we do. So the other partnership is to make sure that now, if your child has not started school yet, start getting them in the routine. Start their bedtime, screen time. That's TV, games, all of that. Okay? We need to have that off at the latest 9 o'clock. At the latest. Well, I'm not sleepy. That's okay. You need to be in your bed so you can start getting used to that because you don't want morning battles. Oh, I'm too tired. I don't want to get up. You don't want all of that. So you have to start conditioning the body and the brain to get up at that time. Also, you can start telling them, okay, you need to put your shoes on. You know, if your child has difficulty tying their shoes, if they aren't sure how to do left and right, those kind of things you can start doing. Buttoning up things, zipping up things. For our younger children, that's really important that they start practicing that now so you can see what you need to help them with. The other thing, too, is they need to sit at a table and eat. They need to sit at the table and eat because when they go to the cafeteria, they're going to have to sit at the table and eat. So try that. I'm not saying every single meal. Remember, we're just trying to start transitioning. That means getting ready. So when we go to school, those kinds of things, they are ready. It's not such a hard adjustment. So that's something that we can do. The other thing, too, is to start waking them up early, just like it's school time. And I know, oh, I'm too tired. Even if they get up, move around for a little while, get up, eat breakfast, and then read something. You can have them do that. Even though they're not doing a lot of classwork, it's getting the body used to getting up. If your child is sleeping 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, that's going to be a big challenge when school starts. So start now by getting them up early, and you can see how resistant they might be. And if they're resistant, guess what? That means they need to go to bed earlier the night before because their bodies are like, no, it's still summertime. So that's something that you want to think about. The other thing, too, is again, the success of this school year is only going to be because you have a strong, supportive partnership with your child, with the school, and school personnel. And we will try to have that with you. So, the other thing I will say to us this school year is to remember when it all hits the fan, all of us are people. Our children are little people. Sometimes they have good days, sometimes they have bad days. We are people. Sometimes we have good days and we have bad days. Teachers, administrators, people who work in the school, the security, the front office people, we're all human. Sometimes we have good days and bad days. So let's try to extend a little grace to each other. Now, if you notice it's a habit or if it's extremely offensive, that does need to be addressed. However, if you notice that, that doesn't always happen, I wonder why they are responding like that, try to extend some grace. I am saying this as a school personnel person, a school counselor, extending grace to you and to our children. So we also need that. And when I say that, grace is understanding that every day can be a brand new day. It can be a brand new day. And if we get our children used to that, that we can start over, but we are going to correct them. They're going to be corrected, but we can start over. And that is what is important that they understand. And the other thing I will say is the power of yet. If your child is not doing something that you think they should be able to do, always use the word yet. My child is not reading yet. My child struggles with math. He doesn't know how to do multiplication yet, because yet means it's coming. If you just say, my child can't do that, and period, that means you have no hope. You don't think they will ever learn. And we all know all children can learn. They learn differently, but they all can learn. So, again, normally I have a book. There's no book today. I just want to say I hope everyone has a wonderful and a safe school year. And again, that has to do a lot with communication. Communicate about your health, your child's health, any life changing things, if you have to move, if there's death in the family, anything like that. Communicate in a partnership so your child's school can know what's going on and your child can know. And if you're not sure, ask to speak to your school counselor. Yes, I'm your friendly school counselor online. And for some of you, I'm your friendly school counselor at school also. But if I'm not your friendly school counselor, I will say to families, that's what the school counselor is for, to support you. So if there are things that are happening, let them know so they can support your child with resources. They can support you with resources. So again, I will be back on. I am going to also do some more recordings, of course, but I just wanted to say have a great school year. Stay well, stay safe, form that partnership, and extend grace. Have a great year.